Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2021 general readings. We're looking at the first 2 weeks of July from the 1st through the 15th, and this reading is for the water sign of Cancer, our crabs. Welcome everyone, hope you're doing well. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this video, for all that you do in support of my YouTube channels, likes, shares, hitting that subscribe button, donations, feedback, comments, all welcome. Thank you. And many blessings back to you for it. So this reading is for the water sign of Cancer, first 2 weeks of July 2021. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus is in Cancer. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Cancerian. It's a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Watch all of your signs for additional insight. And if you find that any of the readings resonate with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, just click the description link below for contact details. You'll see my email address there, maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond with more information the same day. And in regards to scheduling personal readings are all I do full time. It's what I do 5-6 days a week. So I'm pretty diligent at scheduling them in a timely fashion. So I'd be delighted to hear from you. Please email me if you're interested. Okay, Cancer, let's see what the first 2 weeks of July have in store for you. I am using the Deviant Moon Tarot, which has some a bit bizarre but lovely, beautiful artwork on it. I just recently returned from the French Quarter in New Orleans. What a great place to buy tarot cards, so I have some new decks. So I'm using the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I'm going to clarify with a different deck if I need to clarify the Radiant Rider-Waite. Okay, Cancer. First 2 weeks of July. We begin with Temperance, followed by the Queen of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords, followed by the Four of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Cups, followed by Judgment. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy and or focus for the first 2 weeks of July is the King of Cups. So that's the overall energy for the first 2 weeks of July. And Cancer, because this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, this could be you, or it could be a water sign that's somehow, influential or prevalent in the first 2 weeks of July. Cancer, I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to release yourself from something, or release yourself from the idea or perspective that you're trapped by something, a person, place, situation, relationship, that you're trapped by something because of what little security it does offer you. It feels like you've got this mentality about this situation or relationship or whatever it is, that says, I'm not happy within this, but I can't leave, because if I leave, then I won't have anything. Even though what you have, what little security you have, is actually represented by a four of Pentacles here. I'm drawn to this 2 cards in the center here. The Eight of Swords, which is a card that represents feeling bound, feeling helpless, feeling like you're chained to something, or that you're bound to something and you can't free yourself. But the Eight of Swords is governed by the element of air. That's what governs the Suit of Swords. And air energy is about what's in our heads. Perspectives, belief systems, ideologies, how we look at things, how we perceive things, what we tell ourselves, truth, enlightenment, all of that. This is a card, what's actually keeping you trapped is the idea that you have that you're trapped because of, fill in the blank, whatever you're telling yourself. I can't leave this job even though I hate it and it doesn't pay enough. I can't leave this job because then I won't have a job. And maybe I don't think I can find another job. Or maybe I hate this job, but it pays well, and I won't ever find another job that pays as well, so I need to stay. Whatever it is that you're telling yourself. I'm not happy in this relationship, and nothing is changing, and I can't change it, but I can't leave because then I'll be alone, and I don't want to be alone. Right? So it's holding on almost to the illusion of security, because what you're trapped or held bound by is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is, sometimes traditionally called the miser card, which represents somebody who, clutches very tightly, these pentacles. It can represent financial and material miserness, really pinching pennies. But really, Pentacles represents what makes us feel secure and safe in life: money, finance, property, real estate, assets. Or in an emotional way, it can represent holding on. It's clutching that what makes you feel secure to yourself. And while 4 can be a number of stability, it can also be a number of stagnancy, and it's not a 10. The 10 of Pentacles would be long-term security and stability, not having to worry about the future. Here in the 4 of Pentacles, it's fearing that if you let go of what you have, or if you open up or share what you have, then you won't have anything, right? So it feels like you feel trapped and bound within something that you tell yourself you can't leave, because then you won't even have the little bit that you have in this thing. I don't know. It could be a job, could be a relationship, could be anything really, right? Temperance and the Queen of Wands, I feel, is Spirit's way of trying to tell you that in order to regain a sense of balance and abundance in your life, you're going to have to be more assertive. You're going to have to manifest the energy of the Queen of Wands, who's the Queen of Fire. Aggressive, assertive, knows what she wants, goes after what she wants, doesn't tolerate being breadcrumbed or put down or feeling anything less than the Queen of Fire that she is. She's kind of got that warrior spirit. Temperance is a card of balance, of being grounded, of being in the middle. Being in the middle of a seesaw or teeter-totter. It's not a static position to be balanced. People think, oh, balance is grounded and you're in one place and you never move. It's not. Staying grounded requires some flexibility. My example is usually, staying in the midst of being in the middle of a seesaw or teeter-totter. And the outside arms, which are constantly moving, are things that you have no control over. Sometimes it's your own emotions, how you feel. Other people, places, situations, what they do. If you leave the center of the seesaw and the teeter-totter, meaning pulling yourself out and getting involved in drama or emotions or other people, leaving, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know where I'm going, then, those move, you have no control over how they move, and so you fall off, you lose your balance. Being in the middle means knowing who you are, what you're about, what your boundaries are, shifting to kind of take into account things that happen in life, but not allowing those things to pull you out of that sense of knowing who you are and staying grounded. So I feel like in order to regain balance in your life in a situation, you're being called upon to manifest the energy of the Queen of Wands, to know who you are and what you're about and what you deserve and what you're worth. And the Queen of Wands wouldn't allow herself to stay in a less than abundant or fulfilling situation or relationship, because she knows she's worth more than that. And if this person or this place or this job doesn't treat her that way, then she knows she can go out and find something better, right? We have the Seven of Cups here with the Judgment. So the Seven of Cups is governed by the element of water, so it's watery, emotional energy. And this is kind of a dreamy card. This is a card of looking at all the different options and possibilities that there are, right? What things could be, what could happen, what's the potential, what's the possibility. In this particular deck, it shows an artist who's, drawing, all these different things. This is what something could be. The Seven of Cups is a card of exploring possibilities and options, right? But it can also be a very dreamy card. It's a card of looking at what the best of something could be, but you also have to keep in mind what it takes to actually manifest that. This is about building castles in the sky, daydreaming, looking at what something could be. It's a card also about having that there's different options and opportunities for you out there. Don't be afraid to dream. And with it is Judgment, which is usually a call to action. It's a card that comes up, and it's pretty profound. It's a major arcana card. It usually shows some version of one of the archangels, one of the major angels, blowing his horn. So it's a call to action. What are you going to do? And you're accountable for what you choose or don't choose. Judgment, what does it mean to be judged? It means to be that you'll have to answer for what you choose to do or what you choose not to do, not what you wished or hoped for or envisioned, but what your actual choices and decisions are, or lack of them. You're responsible and accountable for them. So usually when judgment shows up, it represents being at a crossroads where you need to make a decision, and you're responsible for what decision you make, or if you make a decision at all. Sometimes a second chance card, which implies that you should make a decision. It usually comes up when there's a choice to be made. And here it looks like, look, there's a lot of, I feel like Spirit is just trying to tell you, look, there's more options. This Eight of Swords and Four of Pentacles, this is you telling yourself you don't have any other options, or you don't really maybe believe fully that there's other options for you other than this. And so because of that, you stay. It's safer. It's what you know. It doesn't challenge you or require anything of you, even though it's not the happiest place to be. Spirit is saying, look, you have all these other options and opportunities, right? There's multiple options, and you're answerable to whether or not you go out there and are able to manifest this, right? If you just tell yourself that you're trapped in this, and so because of that, you're not going to put any action or intention into exploring something else or leaving or finding something else, then you won't have anything else. And you're accountable for that, right? Because you're not giving Spirit anything to work with. I hope this isn't sounding too lectury or patronizing, but you're being asked to remember who you are. We do have the King of Cups as overall energy. Now, for some of you, this could be just the energy that you're manifesting or that you need to manifest, being emotionally intuitive, emotionally aware. It could represent another water sign person that is, somehow important or influential here. Yeah, I feel like you're being asked to remember who you are, to regain some of this power that you've given up in the Eight of Swords, because you think, well, a 4 is not a 10, it's not even an 8, but at least it's better than nothing, right? Like you're settling. That's kind of what I feel here in this situation. Let's clarify a bit. I'm going to clarify with the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. Let's clarify the King of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles, which is teamwork, compromise, negotiation, might be a third-party situation in relationships. We have the King of Wands here, so we have a King and Queen of Wands, so it might be a partnership. The Lovers, which also represents a relationship at a crossroads, and a decision needs to be made as to the future and life of this relationship, or not the future and life of this relationship. Sometimes it can also represent third-party situations. For some of you, so a decision needs to be made about a primary relationship, Cancer. Now, the decision might be about the relationship itself. Do I move forward with this relationship? Does this relationship need to end? Even though this is a relationship between two people who are very connected to each other, so it's probably a long-term or a well-established relationship. And we do have a King and Queen of Wands, which is a couple. Some of you might be on the Leo-Cancer cusp. We do have the Three of Pentacles too, and the Lovers, King of Wands. So for some of you, it might be a third-party relationship, but the decision that needs to be made is going to significantly affect the future of this relationship, or the lack of a future. One way to look at this, and and it's a general reading, so how it's going to resonate is going to vary a bit depending on what's going on in your life. Some of this, the King of Cups might be somebody who's in a therapeutic or advice position with the two of you, like a marriage counselor or something like that. It also might be that you're being asked to make a decision maybe in another part of your life that's going to have an impact on that primary relationship. And it might be for some of you, you're trying to choose between two people. I think a lot of you are, aware and intuitive about this relationship. And it feels like, and there may be somebody else in a position of help too, which is interesting because I got something similar for the Leo reading. So some of you, again, might, be on that Leo Cancer cusp, or because it felt like there was in that reading that there was that it was also about a relationship, but that there was a third person who was in almost a paternal or advice giving sort of position, trying to get you to see something and make a decision about a relationship, because obviously there's a decision that needs to be made about the future of a relationship. And typically when that shows up, it's usually about moving forward in a relationship or letting the relationship go or letting it dissipate. Let's clarify the Queen of Wands. The Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a hard-won victory. It represents basically winning at all costs or succeeding at all costs. But, sometimes it asks the question if a battle is worth the end result or not. Sometimes it means that winning means that you put yourself on a better path, but sometimes you have to leave people behind in order to do that. And it often asks the question, is this worth the battle? Am I going to actually, is this even going to be worth it? Let's see what's next. The King of Cups again, so we have the King of Cups twice. And the Eight of Swords. Yeah, in order to bring balance back in your life, I keep getting this strong message, Cancer, about remembering who you are, which is a way of saying, it feels like you've forgotten your own self-worth and your own self-value in this situation. And again, it feels like, we have the Eight of Swords twice here. This is feeling bound by some kind of perception or reason you're giving yourself in your head. But in fact, you are not. It's like you're willing, it feels like you're settling here, like you're willing to settle for breadcrumbs because it's better than not having anything at all. Meaning that also it implies that if you leave something unfulfilling behind you, then you don't have a lot of faith in having anything better moving forward. Let's clarify the Four of Pentacles. Actually, I'm not going to clarify the Eight of Swords and Four of Pentacles. It's pretty clear. It's like, it's better to have what little I have than nothing at all. I feel like whatever this situation is, whether it's a job or a relationship, and there's obviously a relationship central here, although it might be making a decision about a job that also affects your primary relationship, it feels like this situation has eroded your sense of who you are and what you're worth and valued. It's like being in the kind of dysfunctional or possibly somewhat abusive relationship where the other party or the other person, the other relationship or the other boss, is telling you, yeah, well, this is the best you're going to get. If you leave, you can go ahead and leave, but you're not going to find anything better. And it scares you. And over time, that kind of erodes, you start to believe it. It erodes how you feel about what you're worth and what you have to offer and what is available to you out there. And then we have Spirit here with the Seven of Cups and Judgment saying, look, there's a variety of different options for you out there. You can build and manifest, whatever it is that you want out there. It's not easy. It takes, work, or it takes having the strength to kind of leave an unhappy situation behind and open yourself up to that. But again, what you have at the end of the day is going to be up to you. You need to initiate the process here. I feel like this is something that you've been involved in for quite some time, Cancer. And Spirit, angels, guides, God is saying to you now, look, there's other options and opportunities, but you're going to have to take the first step. You're going to have to trust and take that first step. Because if you just keep sitting in this thing of, well, I can't leave and it's better to hold on to what little I have than have nothing at all, then you're not going to have anything different, or it'll even break down any further. But that's on you. You're responsible for that. So what are you going to do? There are options and possibilities out there for you. So what are you going to do? Remember who you are. Remember what your worth is here. Make the decision. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it? Because that's what Spirit meets and matches and supports. Okay, let's pull some. Well, actually, let's clarify the Seven of Cups. Options, opportunities, building castles in the sky. Yeah, it almost feels like Spirit's lecturing a bit. Okay, you envision and imagine the best kind of job that you would like to have, or the best kind of relationship you would like to have. And that's great, but that's all watery, dreamy energy. What are you actually going to do to open the actual possibility and potential of this? Action oriented. What are you actually going to do? Clarify the Seven of Cups. It's kind of like, don't shoot the messenger, Cancer, but it feels like Cancer is saying, fish or cut bait. If you want something more, you got to get off the couch, right? Even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, even if you're afraid. Because that's what Spirit loves. That's what initiates a different flow of energy. It breaks up the flow of energy you're already in, which is I can't, and gives Spirit something to work with, and kind of shows them that you really are willing to take a step of faith and do this. The Seven of Cups is clarified by Judgment, which is actually over the original Judgment. So we have Judgment twice. So this is a very strong message, Cancer, about, okay, you want this. What are you going to do to get it? How are you going to initiate your own change? What are you going to give us to work with in terms of showing us that you really want something? This is about trusting. This is about stepping outside your comfort zone. This is about taking a chance, taking a risk. The Two of Wands, the Two of Fire, action-oriented, make a decision, choose a path. The preceding card, of course, would be the Ace of Wands, which is the new spark, the new inspiration, the new something, the new beginning, the new opportunity. And then the next card here, the Two of Wands, is, okay, which path am I going to choose in order to begin to manifest this in a very physical sort of way? Yep, you're being called to action. You're being called to say, okay, you want something better, you want something more than whatever this is that's, you say, oh, it's better than nothing. I need to hold on to it. But Spirit's saying you're actually envisioning something better, something more. Okay, we'll help you, but we're not, it's not Professor Dumbledore waving a magic wand, poof, here it all is, right? You have to begin to initiate that. So what are you going to do? Act, act, act. Clarify Judgment. The Magician, the manifester, the entrepreneur. The Magician is a card that represents success, meaning having what you want, through a combination of talents and hard work. The Magician knows it's not enough just to, sit in his living room and envision, that he's going to be a doctor and what a great doctor he's going to be. He also understands that it starts with that dream, that vision, but then there's also a variety of steps and goals he has to meet and hard work he has to put into it, in addition to his talent, in order to manifest this into reality. This is clarifying Judgment. What are you going to do? The Ace of Cups, new love and romance, and this is also self-love, the beginning of awareness of how much you're worth and how precious and valuable you are. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here because it's pretty clear. So let's just pull any last guidance, advice, feedback for Cancer from Spirit. The Eight of Cups. It's time to leave behind and turn your back on that which isn't fulfilling. Strength. Facing your fears, doubts, insecurities, moving through them. The Empress. Remember who you are. The Empress embodies all the aspects of all four of the queens. She's the Emperor's natural match. She wouldn't put up with anything. The Empress, the Six of Pentacles, this is about giving and receiving. This is about knowing what your worth is and knowing what your, in relationship, for example, this is, the Empress would never find herself in a relationship or choose to be in a relationship with somebody who didn't treat her as anything less than the Empress. Treat her as the beautiful, abundant, fertile, the star, renewed, restored hope, faith, and optimism. I think staying in an unsatisfying job, relationship, whatever this is, Cancer, and I say whatever because it's a general reading and it's going to resonate a little differently. For some of you, it might be in one area of your life, for some of you, another. It's quite clear that you're in a situation that you're not happy with, you're not fulfilled by. It's not giving you anything more than the Four of Pentacles. And you deserve to have the Ten of Pentacles, long-term stability and security. But you're holding on to what security you have, and you're telling yourself here, it's better than nothing. If I let go of this, I won't have anything. Therefore, I can't change this. I'm trapped. You're not. Doesn't mean that leaving isn't scary or difficult or opening yourself up, stepping outside your comfort zone, right? It also requires of you to step outside your comfort zone and take control over some of the results of what you get or don't get, which is judgment here. It can be scary. As long as you tell yourself you can't change, then you don't, and no action is required of you, right? But here you're being called to remember who you are. Remember how precious, how priceless, how valuable you are. The kind of job or relationship you deserve to be in, right? Have the strength and the courage to face your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. Acknowledge the part that you've had to play in the place that you're at and move through that and beyond that. The star, hope, faith, optimism, restored. The star comes after the Tower, after this, very difficult, challenging time. There is still, this is wish fulfillment that's based on faith, on moving forward. There are so many different opportunities for joy and happiness for you out there, but you must have the strength to move forward, to begin. Spirit's going to be there every step of the way, right? But you have to start. Okay, I'm going to stop there. It's sounding a bit lectury. So Cancer, those are your messages for the first 2 weeks of July. I hope they've been helpful and useful to you, gave you some food for thought, maybe helped validate what you probably already know, as a lot of readings are. Again, if any of this resonated with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something for yourself or maybe as a gift for someone else, click on the description link below for contact details. Email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be happy to hear from you and happy to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the July general readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well, be blessed. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.